When my wife's ex started reaching out, I told her to block him. Instead, her single friends encouraged her to stray. And when I uncovered the truth, they pointed the finger at me. You pushed her into this. I recorded every word. 3 days later, my response shattered every one of their lives. My name is Julian Rivera. I'm 32, a cybersecurity consultant for a major firm headquartered in San Francisco. The best part of my job is the flexibility. I work remotely. That freedom let me buy a stunning craftsman home in Eugene, Oregon, where I've lived with my wife, Celine, for 5 years. Celine is 30, a yoga instructor with a magnetic presence. People are drawn to her warmth, the way she listens, and how she makes every client feel seen. I love her not just for her beauty, but because she seemed grounded, stable, and uninterested in playing games. For years, we were the couple others admired, traveling often, building financial security, and talking about starting a family. I believed our love was unbreakable. I was wrong. The cracks began last winter when Celine mentioned her college ex, Damon Hull, had moved back after a messy divorce. He'd been gone nearly a decade, working luxury real estate in Chicago, and now he was back in Oregon for a fresh start. At first, I dismissed it. People reconnect all the time. But then Damon started texting her, and his messages quickly shifted from, "How have you been?" to, "I miss your laugh," and "No one ever understood me like you did." Celine confessed it made her uncomfortable. She even showed me the text. I told her straight. This man isn't trying to be your friend. He's trying to get back into your life. Block him. To my relief, she did, right there in front of me. She deleted his number, unfollowed him, and promised it was over. For a while, I believed her. What I didn't count on was her circle of friends. Celine's two closest companions, Marissa and Talia, were both mid-30s, single, and extremely vocal about relationships. Marissa, a freelance photographer, wore independence like armor. 3 engagements, never a wedding, always claiming men couldn't handle her freedom. Talia, a paralegal, had 2 divorces behind her and fancied herself an expert in spotting controlling behavior. When Celine told them about blocking Damon, they erupted. "Julian's controlling you," Marissa scoffed. "This is how emotional abuse starts." Talia chimed in, "First it's blocking your ex. Next, he won't let you talk to men at all. You need boundaries with him, not Damon." From my office down the hall, I heard enough to feel sick. I was being painted as a jealous tyrant when all I'd asked was respect for our marriage. At first, Celine defended me, but after weeks of their poison, her behavior shifted. She worked late more often. She kept her phone face down, carried it everywhere, even into the bathroom. Our conversations thinned to nothing. One night, I casually asked if she'd spoken to Damon since blocking him. She hesitated, then admitted her friends convinced her that cutting him off was too much. "We're just talking as friends," she said. "You need to trust me." But trust only works when both people play fair. The truth came by accident. Celine left her laptop open while showering. A notification from Damon lit up the screen. "Last night was unforgettable. I can't stop thinking about you." My chest tightened. Against every instinct, I opened the thread. What I saw gutted me. Weeks of messages about coffee dates that turned into long nights at his apartment. Celine reminiscing about their college days. Calling me safe but dull, while Damon was exciting and alive. One line seared itself into me forever. "I think I mistook security for love. Julian feels like a husband, but Damon feels like home." I saved everything. Screenshots, photos, every message, and secured them on a drive. That night, when she came home sweaty from yoga, I was waiting in the living room with the transcripts printed out on the table. Her face drained of color. "Julian, I cut her off calmly. "I don't want excuses. I just want the truth." For the first time in our marriage, Celine was brutally honest. Damon had always been the one who got away. Marrying me was a practical choice, not the passionate one. Marissa and Talia had opened her eyes, she said. They made me realize I was settling for stability instead of chasing real love. I asked her one question. "When I told you to block him, did you want to?" She whispered, "Yes." His messages made me uncomfortable, but they convinced me I was just internalizing what a wife should do. She betrayed her own instincts because her friends told her to. I didn't yell. I didn't rage. I quietly recorded her confession. Over the next 3 days, I prepared. I hired a lawyer, filed for divorce, and attached the screenshots. I sent proof of the affair to her yoga studio owners, many of whom were married clients Damon had also pursued. Her reputation imploded. I anonymously forwarded transcripts to Marissa's latest boyfriend and Talia's boss, who had no idea how much work time they wasted gossiping. By the end of the week, Celine lost her marriage, her career prospects, and the pedestal she thought she stood on. And Damon? He vanished the moment the fallout hit, leaving her to face the wreckage alone. I didn't just walk away. I walked away with dignity, while their toxic little circle collapsed on itself. They called me vindictive, but I hadn't destroyed them. I simply let the truth do the work. And truth, revealed at the right time, is more devastating than any revenge. The morning after, Celine came into my office, wearing the robe she always used when she wanted to soften me. Her voice trembled. "Julian, I made a terrible mistake, but we can fix this. You've always been patient. So kind. Please don't throw everything away over one lapse." I looked her in the eye. "Celine, it wasn't one lapse. It was months of lies, secrecy, and tearing me down behind my back. That's not a mistake. That's a choice you made again and again." She broke down, sobbing on the floor. I thought I needed closure. Damon was just a ghost in the past. I never stopped loving you. You're my husband. You're my home. Her words were carefully chosen, almost rehearsed. But I'd already seen the messages where she called me safe but boring, while Damon was the man she should have chosen. There was no coming back. A tear that week, Marissa and Talia showed up uninvited. Marissa crossed her arms, glaring. "You're really ending your marriage over this? Do you know how controlling that looks?" Talia sneered. "Celine told us everything. You pushed her to Damon by isolating her. If you trusted her, none of this would have happened." I didn't argue. I pulled out my phone and hit play. Celine's own voice filled the room. I wanted to block him. I knew it was wrong. But Marissa and Talia convinced me I was just internalizing what wives are supposed to do. Their faces went pale. Celine covered her mouth, horrified. "Get out," I said flatly. "All of you." None of them had a response. The night before the divorce papers were served, Celine tried once more. She made a candlelit dinner, wearing the dress I once said she looked beautiful in. As we ate, she reached for my hand. "Julian, I know I hurt you, but think of the life we built. The trips, the home. You don't throw away a marriage over one rough patch. Everyone makes mistakes." I let her finish, then asked quietly, "Did Damon make you feel alive?" She froze. Slowly, she nodded. "Then go be alive with him. Because I'll never let you make me feel small again." Her face collapsed. She begged, pleaded, tried every memory, every dream, but my mind was set. The next morning, I left the signed divorce papers on the counter and packed my bags. As I walked out for the last time, Celine stood in the doorway sobbing, promising to change, swearing Damon meant nothing. But I didn't look back, because in that moment, I realized something powerful. Walking away with self-respect is worth far more than clinging to a broken marriage. And no matter how much she tried to twist the story, I refused to let her rewrite the truth.